Go ahead and get started. This is a study session for U.S. Government Semester 1 and Quarter 2. And today is July 13th. Okay, and again, thank you everybody for joining. Make sure that if you haven't done so already that you sign in using your first name. Send me a private chat if some of you have already done. Send me a private chat with your first and your last name. That way I can go ahead and make sure that you get extra credit for attending. Make sure that you mute your microphone in order to reduce background noise. If you can't see all the navigation buttons, you might want to choose the exit full screen to be able to access all the buttons. And if you're going to be using your audio today, that's totally up to you. Please feel free to say hello to join in on audio. If you don't get a response from me after you say hello, send me a chat privately and let me know your audio is not working and we'll go ahead and troubleshoot that. Okay, and this session is being recorded, so please keep that in mind and you will be able to access it at a later date and time. I'll make sure to send out reminders to everybody about where to locate this session recording. Okay, the expectations for study sessions here: participate and ask questions. This is a great opportunity for everybody to be able to ask questions that they might have saved up or to troubleshoot any problems they might be having in this class or in any of their courses. And of course, be respectful of others, be respectful of their questions, of their abilities. We all learn in different ways and different speeds. Even me, as an adult learner, I still have issues with several things, and sometimes I need to have the pace either slow down or I need to go back and review something. So please be respectful of others. Our agenda for today: we are going to learn how to create a presentation using various methods. One of those is using Google Slides. We're going to take a look at PowerPoint, and we're going to look at Open Office. We'll spend about 15 minutes, maybe a little bit more on that. Then we'll do Q&A, so time for questions. Second half of the class, we're going to focus on Assignment 6.3.1, Public Opinion and Policy Making, which is a presentation. So we'll be able to apply the skills that you have learned in creating a presentation towards an assignment in U.S. government. And then, of course, at the end, we'll wrap it up with having more questions, more time for questions. I want to take a quick poll. I want to know, have you ever made a presentation before, whether it's in this class or another class? Do you know what presentation maker you have on your computer? Do you have, for example, PowerPoint? Do you have Google Slides? Do you have something else? And of course, please answer through the chat, or you can send me a private chat if you want to remain anonymous. So welcome to whoever just joined. Make sure that you type your name into the make sure you identify yourself by your first name and then send me a private chat and let me know your first and last name so that you can receive extra credit, because we are going to have students coming in and out. Hello? Hi. So I hear somebody on audio. Did you have a question? Okay, just make sure that you mute yourself if you're not going to be talking here. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And iPhone, if you could just please send me your first and last name via chat, a private chat message, that would be great. That way you can receive extra credit for attending. Okay, we have one student who responded to this. They said yes, they have PowerPoint. I have another student that says that they use Google Slides, even though they have all the other options, because they prefer this method because they can access it from anywhere and not worry about saving. And that is very true. That's one of the, that is my go-to as well, is anything Google makes, Google Docs, Google Slides, and even their spreadsheet version. I just like it because I am one of those people who will write a paper and not save, and I'm an adult and I know better. I forget to save. So ever since I started using Google, I just don't have to worry about saving. It automatically saves for you. So that is the great thing about using Google Slides. Thank you, Katie. Okay, also, we have another student. Tegan says, I use Google Slides. Awesome. Yeah, Google Slides is really easy to use too. And like Katie said earlier, you can access it from anywhere in the world. So long as you have access to your Gmail account, you can use that option to make a presentation from anywhere in the world. So thank you very much, everybody, for responding. Okay, so how to create a presentation. We're gonna just really quickly look at some of these options, and it should help you get started if you don't already know how to use it. So the first one will be Google Slides. With Google Slides, it is free. It's a free option, but you have to have, or you have to create a Gmail account. So if you don't have Gmail, it's free. You can sign up for it. You just go to gmail.com and you sign up for an account and you can access it from there. So let me show you what it looks like. I'm going to go over to my email here. Okay. So, all right, I'm in my email. And hi, Mariah. Thank you for joining. Please make sure to, everybody, please make sure that you mute yourselves if you're not going to be answering any questions directly. So, okay, we're at my email, and there is an icon over here in the upper right-hand corner for those of you who haven't used Google Slides before, or even the Google Drive. I'm going to go over here, I'm going to click on it, and we're going to click on Slides. And this will be, again, when you create a Gmail account, this will become an option for you. So we're going to click on Slides here. And then you're going to click on blank. You're given a variety of things that you can choose from, like a template gallery, but I'm just going to go ahead and create a blank document just because it's a lot easier when you're first learning to use Google Slides. It's just much easier. First thing I want to do is I want to title my presentation before I forget. That way I can find it later. And I'm going to title it Test. All right, just testing. And the nice thing about most presentation makers is it prompts you on what to do. So this is my title slide. I'm going to click here to add the title. So let's just say US Gov presentation. And then usually, of course, on a title slide, you also want to have your name. Awesome. Okay, so that's it. That's how you create your title slide. Now, if you want to insert more slides, all you have to do, I find the easiest thing to do here is to go over here on the left, click on your slide sorter, and hit the enter button. And voila, you have another slide. You can also, other options are I can right click and I can click new slide, and that'll create another new slide for me. If you want to get fancy and you want to make this a visually stunning presentation, you can go over here to the right-hand side and you'll see themes, and you can apply this theme and you have a very nice looking presentation. I'm going to do this one here. There we go. All right. After this, all it is, it's just a matter of adding text to where you'd like. And as you work more in depth and you get used to Google Slides, you'll notice that there's a variety of things that you can do besides just the theme. You can change the format. You can, rearrange your slides. You can move them back and forth. So these are the very basics that you need to know to get started. You can also insert images, which presentations, always a great thing to have images. And you're going to go insert image. And it's going to prompt you to do one of several things. You're either going to upload it from your computer where you have already saved it, or you're going to search the web. You can also get it from your drive, photos, or even take a picture with your camera on your phone or on your laptop. So that is essentially it. I'm going to, let's see here. I was going to organize this in my drive, but I think that might be too much information. So let's just leave it at this. So there we go. We have our presentation. And does anybody have any questions so far about Google Slides? Please feel free to use your audio or to go ahead and send a private or a group chat message. So any questions so far about Google Slides? Okay, we'll go ahead and move on. So that is Google Slides. The next one is PowerPoint. So you can only use PowerPoint, as most of you are aware, if you have Microsoft Office. So that's something that already comes with a computer that you purchase, or you have purchased the software in addition. And it's nice if your computer already comes with that. It's pretty easy to use. And you can, I have it on my desktop, so it's super easy for me to find. But how do you find it? So if you're wondering if you even have it on your computer, let's find out. So let's take a look. I'm going to go back here. Okay, so I'm here on my computer, and here in the bottom left-hand corner, it says type search. But if you can see, I have PowerPoint as one of my icons. I'm already in PowerPoint because that's what I'm using to present. But you'll see that there's a PowerPoint icon right here, and I can either click on that and create a new one, or in this case, it's just going to take me directly to what I am using right now. Oops, let me go back to. Okay, if you're looking for PowerPoint and it's not directly on here, just type in PowerPoint in your search options here, and you'll be able to find it. So for me, it appears as a desktop app. So does anybody have any questions so far about how to find PowerPoint? Okay, so we'll move on. So in order to create, sorry about that. In order to create a presentation, we'll just go here and it'll open up, but for you, you'll have a blank presentation and you can just go to create something new. So let's say file, I'm going to create something new and a blank presentation. I'm going to click on that. And again, just like with Google Slides, you're prompted to insert text, and you can also add a subtitle here. So testing, and then and there we go.
Hello, everybody.
Hi there. Thanks for joining. Make sure that you sign in, okay? And then send me a private chat if you'd like to with your first and last name so that you can receive extra credit. And feel free to use the video. If you don't want to use the video, you don't have to. Totally up to you. All right, so, and of course, always mute yourselves unless you're answering questions.
How do I sign in? I don't see the button. I'm on my phone.
Okay, okay, I'm not quite sure how to do it from your phone, but I can see that you're signed in as Markeisha. So I know who you are, Markeisha. I'll make sure that I have you down here. All righty. So we have PowerPoint, and the same thing with PowerPoint. If you want to add another slide, just go ahead and click on Enter, or you can right-click and click on Insert Slide. And there we go, we have a new slide. Same option for image, you're just going to insert. And you're going to insert a picture here. And you can choose any picture that you would like. I'm gonna insert this picture that I have saved on my desktop of my father from when he was a merchant marine. And I'm going to just minimize that, get that out of the way, and that's it. With PowerPoint, you do have to save. So we were talking about earlier with Google Slides that it automatically saves for you. However, with PowerPoint, you do have to save your presentation. So to do that, you go File, Save As, and then Presentation. I'm just going to save this to my desktop. And there we go. So that is how to work PowerPoint. Does anybody have questions so far on PowerPoint? Okay, if you do have any questions, feel free to join in via audio. You can also send a chat message if you do have questions. Okay, no questions so far. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. And we're going to take a look at LibreOffice. So LibreOffice, unlike PowerPoint, you do not have to pay for it. However, you do have to download and install it. It does not come on any computer. If you do want this free option, because maybe you don't have a Gmail account and you don't have PowerPoint, you can call tech support and ask them for help installing it. Their number is right there on the screen. It's 855-945-5472 extension 2. Please remember that tech support's available Monday through Friday, and they can help you install it. Again, it's free, and there are a lot of features that are very similar to PowerPoint and to Google Slides. I think it's more similar to PowerPoint than Slides. So let's take a look at what that looks like. So we're going to take a look at LibreOffice. I happen to have it on my computer, so I don't have to download it. And it's right here. It's this icon. And I'm going to start it. It might take a few seconds longer than other ones. For some reason, it's a slower program. And it's loading, and there it is. All right, so this is what it looks like when it starts up. It's going to ask you to open a file, or if you want to access recent files. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on Impress Presentation, because that's what this is called. It's called Impress Presentation. I'm going to double click on that. Oh, we skipped a step. I'm going to go ahead and start that over again. All right, so it's going to prompt me to select a template. I'm just going to go ahead and select this beehive one. And it automatically gives you a template. So again, just like PowerPoint, it asks you to add a title, add text, insert more slides. Just click on the slide sorter here on the left and you can hit enter. You can also right click and make a new slide. So it'll prompt you to just go ahead and add a title. I know how to spell my name. All right, and then if I want to insert an image, it's the same exact thing. Oops. I'm going to, yeah, let me show you that again. You can actually access it here, but I'm going to just do the same thing over, and I'm going to go insert image. And I'm going to insert this image of my father as a Marine. And that's it. So same exact options, inserting images, inserting text, choosing a template. Does anybody have questions about LibreOffice, about how to access it, who to call to get it installed? Any questions so far? Sorry, if you do have a question, you want to jump in on audio, you'll have to unmute yourself, or you can send a question through the chat system. And you can send it privately, or you can send it to the group. Okay, so if we don't have any other questions about LibreOffice, we'll go ahead and move on. Okay, I know I just asked if you had any questions, but let's just go ahead and take some extra time for additional questions. What questions do you have about any of these presentation options? So for example, do you want to know how to change your background or insert a new slide, which we've already have done, but if you need to review that, please let me know. So what questions do you have about any of these presentation options? What questions do you have about the class in general? So for example, how do I see feedback on assignments? You know, how do I, see my grade? So any questions about the class, and then of course, any questions that you have in general about the program, now is the time to ask. I'm here to help or at least guide you in the right direction. So for example, who do I contact to get another class or to check how many credits I have? So let's open this. Let's have this as an opportunity to ask questions. Feel free to ask away. You can jump in through audio or send a chat message.
Well, I started watching the video late, so I was wondering, will the video end? Will I be able to watch it from the beginning?
Sorry, you're cutting out. Can you try rephrasing that one more time?
I said I started watching the video. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, I came into watching the video late, so I was wondering when the session ends, when I'll be able to see the video from the beginning.
Yes, definitely. That's a great question. So you can, this video will be available as well as the slides. They'll be available later once we're done recording. So we're still in the middle of recording, and I'll send that out to you. If you need to remind me, you can send me a chat message at the end of this presentation and say, hey, can I get a copy of where, of the slides? And also, can I find out where this video link is available?
Okay, thank you so much. That's all I wanted.
You're very welcome. Yeah, and you know, for not just for this study session, but for all study sessions, you're always welcome to join late. I mean, we want you here, and it's better late than never. And so yeah, all these sessions are recorded, and you can always catch up later. you know, by watching the
Okay.
video. Yeah, good question. Yeah, we are happy to have you anytime. Okay, do we have any other questions about the class, about the content, about presentations? Okay, well, there'll be plenty of opportunities for questions throughout this presentation. So let's go ahead and let's get started on an assignment. So this assignment appears in US History Semester 1 and also, or sorry, US Government Semester 1 and also in US Government Quarter 2. So it just depends on which version of the course that you're in. But activity 6.3.1 is called Public Opinion and Policy Making. So this is a presentation activity. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna apply what you learned about presentations. If you're just now learning to make presentations, or you learned you know, how to use a presentation maker just now, we're going to apply that to 6.3.1. Some students, actually a lot of students struggle with this because of the instructions, and maybe some of the content is a little bit difficult. But I know that with this is going to help you a lot to just get through this specific assignment. So the first thing I want to say is please, 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 please do not submit your findings in the comments box for this assignment. So if you've already done this assignment and you received a low grade, it could be because you submitted it in the comments box. So I have presented an example here of someone who took all of their findings from the activity, and they just typed all their information instead of creating a presentation. So there's another example down here on the bottom right. It says animal testing, and as you can see, that's a presentation, and they applied it, or they attached it as a PowerPoint. And I can tell it's a PowerPoint because of the end right here, because it says .pptx. So yeah, yes, this is how you want to do it. No, this is not how you want to do it over here. Tegan, let's go ahead and talk afterwards. I did just get your chat message, so let's just go ahead and talk about that afterwards, and I'll also put you in touch with your academic coach, okay? You're welcome. All right, so activity 6.3.1, public opinion and policy making. So how do I submit my presentation as an attachment? That's a very good question. And that is indeed one that students struggle with, is trying to figure out, okay, so I've created this Google slide or this PowerPoint or this LibreOffice presentation, Impress presentation, but now how do I submit it? So for Google Slides, you have to convert it to a different type of document. You have to convert it to a PDF or a PowerPoint. And the reason is because Google is very different from what the rest of the world uses. So I have to be able to read and see your presentation. So you have to convert it to a PDF or a PowerPoint. So let's take a look at what that looks like. So I have here, let me make sure I'm sharing the correct screen. Okay. So I have here the presentation that I created. It just says testing, and I'm in Google Slides. So you have to, let's say you find it on your drive and you open it. So what you have to do is you have to go to File, and you have to go to Download As, and you can download it as a PowerPoint or as a PDF. So I prefer that you send it in one of these two formats. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to download it as a PDF document. So here it is in the bottom left-hand corner. It says that I downloaded it as a PDF document. And then what I'm gonna do next is I'm going to go to my assignment, Public Opinion and Policy Making. So I'm in my course. I'm going to show Dropbox. Let's see here. Oops, I already submitted this presentation in a previous session. So let me see here. Okay, I'm gonna have to use a different example. Sorry about that. Let's say I'm, okay, we're gonna make pretend this is 6.3.1 because I have already submitted that assignment before and it doesn't have a retry on it. So I do need to do this. Okay, so let's make pretend we're in 6.3.1. I click on Show Dropbox. I choose File. So I have to add an attachment. I choose a file. And I know that I just downloaded the Google Slides presentation, so it's in my downloads. And there it is, testing. I'm going to click Open. And then maybe I want to put a comment in, I hope I did this right. And then I'm going to click on Submit. And there you go. I have submitted my document. Okay, I'm going to remove that for now because we're going to try that with another file. All right, then. Okay, so that was with Google Slides. Okay, so from PowerPoint. The nice thing about PowerPoint is it does not need to be converted. So if you're using PowerPoint and you created your presentation, you do not need to convert the file. You would just find it on whichever format, whichever part of your computer you saved it on, and you would upload it from there. So let's go ahead and do that so that you can see what it looks like. All right, and just a reminder, can I have everybody mute their audio, please, so that any background noises are not heard? Thank you. Okay, so let's go over here.
Oh, my teacher can hear you. I didn't know that. Oh my God, I gotta mute it.
Okay, so we are over here on PowerPoint. We created this PowerPoint presentation. We're going to save it. Go to File, Save As. I'm going to save it to the desktop, and I'm going to change the name to Submit This. And this is true for LibreOffice or for PowerPoint, so this will be an example for both of these options. All right, so now I am going to the assignment. And I'm going to find my file. So I'm going to choose File. And I'm going to go to testing, going to open it. Oops, hold on a second. It was on my desktop. So it's actually submit this. So it's desktop, submit this. I'm going to open it and I'm going to submit it. Okay, so that is how you submit these files. Does anybody have any questions so far? I'm gonna go ahead and take a minute here for questions. So feel free to send a chat or chime in via audio. Okay, any questions so far? Okay, let's go ahead and move on then. So how to organize your presentation. We're gonna review assignment 6.3.1. We're gonna review the instructions, and then I'm gonna show you an example of a really good presentation. So for 6.3.1, this is the public opinion and policy making. We are going to make sure that we always read through all of the instructions before beginning any part of the assignment. So again, always make sure that you are reading through every single part of the assignment instructions. So let's go ahead and go to that assignment. Sorry, let me go back. Let's go ahead and go to that assignment. Which is 6.3.1, public opinion and policy making. All right, and I'll briefly read the instructions. This is something you could definitely do on your own. I at least want to guide you so that you can figure out which direction to go into. And then you can always ask me for questions from your class if you need any additional help with this assignment. So it says in this lesson, you have learned about, and this is assuming that you have already read lesson 6.3, about public opinion and policy making. So in this lesson, you have learned about the role of public opinion on policy making and how individuals and groups impact these policies. For this activity, you will choose from one of the controversial topics listed below and conduct research to form your own position on the topic. You will then defend your position and use what you have learned so far in this unit to explain how citizens can participate in the decision-making process. You will summarize your findings in an informational presentation. So again, this is a presentation. And you're going to follow the instructions below to complete your assignment and then upload it to the Dropbox. So I've already shown you how to make the presentation, how to save it, and where to find it so that you can upload it. So that part is taken care of. Now you just have to figure out what do I do? How do I do this presentation? Okay, so step one. You're going to select your topic. So you got to choose one of the following topics. You're either going to select medical marijuana, universal health care, or animal testing. And I suggest that you choose the topic that you think is the most interesting or something that you really care about. Because what you're going to do is you're going to read more about it. You're going to form an opinion, and you are going to create a presentation about that topic. So let's say I pick animal testing. So we've done part of the work for you here at Graduation Alliance, and all you do is you click on that, on animal testing, and it takes you to all the information that you need for your presentation. You don't need to go, I mean, if you want to do additional research, that is great. You can do that, but all of the sites that we have provided for you here have the information. So Step one, again, pick the topic. Step two is you're now going to conduct your research on the topic with the given information. Consider the following questions. So as you do the research, think of these questions. Why is the topic controversial? So why is animal testing controversial? Why is medical marijuana controversial? Why is universal healthcare controversial? The next thing is the next thing you should think about is why are some people in favor of this issue? So why are they for animal testing? The next question is why are some people opposed to this issue? And this is a controversial part about it because then if everybody agreed on one thing, it wouldn't be controversial. The next question is why is this topic important to many Americans? Why are Americans so passionate about this? Or why are they so divided about this? And then you're going to discuss your position on this topic. So what is your position on this topic? Are you in favor or are you against it? And why or why not? So this is really your chance to voice your opinion on something that is important to you or that you care about. And then step three says, how can someone participate in the decision-making process about this issue? So as you're doing your research, think, all right, if I really want to get involved and I want to be against animal testing, what organization can I join? Or, can I write to my local government official? Or can I join a protest? These are things that were discussed in the previous lesson in 6.3. So you might want to go back to the lesson to figure out what are ways that you as a citizen can participate in forming public opinion and policy. So consider that as you read through the topic. And then the last step, after you have picked your topic, after you have researched it and answered some of those questions in your mind about why it's so controversial, then you're going to create a PowerPoint that explains the topic, your position on the topic, and how to influence public policy. So if you look, it says for step 4, your PowerPoint should have a total of 7 slides and needs to include the following information. So it's already organized for you. You just now have to fit in that information. So you need a title slide with your presentation title and your name. You need, your next slide needs to be about why your topic is important and why it's controversial. Why is it important to many Americans? Your third slide needs to be about why are some people in favor of this issue? And you can even create a 4th slide that says, why are some people opposed to this issue? Your following slides need to have your position on the topic. Are you in favor of it or against it? Why or why not? How can someone participate in the decision-making process about the issue? And of course, you need to have 2 images. So right here, step 4, it tells you everything that you need for this assignment. So if you want to get 100% on this assignment, do every single step in step 4, okay? I'm going to have you take a look at an example of a very good presentation that was created by one of my students, so that we can see all of the different steps and how they applied it to their presentation. All right, so we're gonna start this presentation, we're gonna start it as a slideshow from the beginning. So they have their first slide, which is their title slide. And they did this topic on medical marijuana. They added kind of a little bit of extra information, which I think is fantastic. They added a slide about medical marijuana. So what is it? They go on to explain what it is. And they also decide to also look at legalization, how many states have legalized it. I'm not going to go through the entire presentation. This is going to be available to you if you want a copy. That way you can see how a presentation should be outlined. And then of course they have why this topic is controversial. And they even say it right off the bat. This topic is controversial because, and this is going to be based on the research, of course, that you did. Why is it controversial? It could also be based on some of your personal experiences. What have you experienced about this topic in particular? Okay. They look at reasons that people are for marijuana. In this case, they're giving examples of health issues that can benefit from its use. And then they look at some of the reasons that people are against it. Then they talk about their stance. So what is their stance? They are for it. And they provide a very personal and a very moving reason for why they are for it. So feel free to read along there. And if you have questions, just, as we go through these slides, let me know. So here is probably the most difficult part of the assignment that a lot of students, and I'm going to tell you this so that you don't forget it, but a lot of students forget this slide, and it is how to get involved. And if you look at the instructions for the assignment, it tells you that you need to include this slide. So this person says that you can write letters to government officials, you can make phone calls, write emails, sign petitions. There's a variety of ways to get involved with your cause. And again, you can review the lesson and then you can review the information about your topic that is provided for you in that topic selection section. So that is the example of 6.3.1. Does anybody have questions about this example? Or questions about this activity in general? We're going to go ahead and move on to that slide. What questions do you have about the activity? Do I have to insert images? Yes, for full points, you have to insert images. Also, I'd like to take the opportunity to ask you all, what other types of study sessions do you feel like you need to see in the future for this class and for other social studies classes? So what would you really, really like to see? Feel free to answer through audio or send me a chat message. And I'll just wait a couple minutes here to see if anybody has questions. Okay, if we don't have any other questions, I guess we'll go ahead and oh wait, we do have a couple questions. Hold on just a second. Yes, very good. I like that someone said, I would like a study session on how to write a good letter to our government. And there is going to be one. So Megan, I will let you know when that's going to happen. It's actually on our schedule for these study sessions. So thank you very much, Megan. Great idea. And I had another student say they came in a little bit late. Am I able to use something other than Google Docs like PowerPoint or LibreOffice? And how do the files need to be sent again? Okay, great question. Again, we have many students that come in late and we are happy to have you join no matter what part of the presentation you come in at. We're just happy to have you here. You can use other presentation makers, and that's what the first part of this study session was about. It was about using Google Docs, PowerPoint, and LibreOffice. And we also discussed how to save those and how to attach those. So this recording will be available, I'm going to say probably later this afternoon. So if you want to message me from your class and say, hey, can I get a copy of or can I get a link to the presentation that you did earlier today? And then you can take a look at that on how to create other types of presentations if you're using Google Docs besides Google Docs, and how to upload those again. So yes, excellent questions. Yeah, and I am really sorry about the the presentation today. I think it's because it's Friday the 13th. I'm not superstitious by any means. I'm a little, I'm a little weary of this presentation. But no, thank you all for attending. I really appreciate it. Contact me here or from your class if you need more help or if you would like a copy of any of these slides. And if you haven't done so already, send me a private chat here with your first and last name so I know you attended and so that you can get the extra credit. And do not hang up yet. I want to make sure that I have everybody. I'm going to write it down. So I have Douglas. Jornada, can you send me your, okay, you got your last name there. Thank you. Let's see, we have Katie, we have Markeisha, we have Megan, you already sent me your last name. Thank you very much. And then we have, you can correct me if I mispronounce your name. Is it Olitha? Olitha, is that correct? Okay, if I missed anybody else, can you please let me know? Okay, please let me know through chat if I've missed anybody, first and last name. Okay, so that is the end of this presentation. I'm going to hang out here for a couple more minutes. If anybody has specific questions, I'll be more than happy to answer those one-on-one. And then you can go ahead and sign out. Have a great Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Work hard. And thank you again for attending. You are very welcome, Douglas. Thank you for joining. Okay, Jornada, I see that you have your hand raised. Did you have a question? You can feel free to unmute yourself and ask the question through audio, or you can send a chat as well.
Oh, fun to raising kids.
Yeah, because when my kids stole it, I got.
Okay, everybody, if we don't have any other questions, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording of the session and end it. Again, contact me through your class via chat if you have any questions or need any additional help. Thanks again. Have a great weekend. Goodbye, everybody.